Hi everybody. In today's this small video, we'll learn about provisioning storage account using Terraform and Azure DevOps pipeline. Right. So some preliminary steps we have to take care of even before starting the technical implementation. The preliminary steps are we have to have uh, Terraform installed, right, on our local system, and then we'll execute some Terraform commands locally so that we can get confirm like it is working fine. And then we have to create a Terraform configuration file, and this is the configuration file which has the real code of the implementation. After that, we'll create a Azure DevOps project on the Azure DevOps portal. We'll push our this configuration file to DevOps project. Then we'll create a build pipeline. After that, we'll create a release pipeline, and finally, we'll test the implementation on this Azure portal. So let's get started. If you are not aware about how to install Terraform on your local system, it's very simple and super simple, I would say. So just visit to the Terraform site, which is, you can say that terraform.io. Just remove registry from here, terraform.io. My bad. So this site has a link, download CLI. You can opt the particular specific version as per your operating system. I'm using Windows system, so I'll use this 64-bit Windows system. Once you download it, the super simple steps are given how to set up this on your own system. So you can just follow the get started with Terraform and Microsoft this thing. So I'm not basically covering how to install it, but installation is required, right? Now my other step is, see for example, I do have Terraform installed on my system, so I need to just cross verify either it is working or not. So the command would be terraform dash dash version to check which version is currently installed on my system. This is the latest version of Terraform 0.15.4. Okay, so that's damn sure that Terraform is basically working on my system. So the other step is to create a configuration file. Now the configuration file, you have to just choose first your path where you need to create your configuration file. So in my case, I have this path, uh, c hands-on terraform under terraform trfm dash store. This is my folder, and my file name is main.tf. So these two blocks, terraform block and the provider block, these two blocks are very much mandatory. You have to write it. That this provision is little different than the version prior to uh, 0.14. Yeah, so these changes have been recommended now. So even before writing anything, you have to have these two blocks ready. In the same way, let me explain you these two blocks. So what does these two blocks says? Terraform is the first block, this one, which is mandatory. Now required provider, inside the required provider, this says I'm using the Azure. So for Azure it is Azure RM, for AWS something different, and for GCP something different, Oracle something different. So you need to cross check from the Terraform site what is the provider name as per the given service provider. For example, in my case Azure RM, because I'm using Azure. So my source is HashiCorp slash Azure RM, this thing, and the version has to be mentioned. Here is a little clarification required. Like I have taken equal to symbol before giving the any version name number. Although the current version number is 2.60 at the time I am recording this video, but I am going to get strict on 2.46 version because I've tried and tested this version various times. So this version I would be following. The other block, which is the provider block, this thing. So this provider block would actually, this is the provider name, and I'm keeping the same name here, right? So there would not be any gap, although you can keep these two different names, no challenge at all, right? Under the provider I have not write anything currently. I have not written anything currently. Reason being because I'm just going to provision a very small uh, configuration, which is storage account only. So this would come into the picture largely when I'll prepare a large template of having various numbers of uh, infrastructure to be provisioned or the uh, applications to be provisioned, right? Okay, next step is, though I have my commands ready with me, the very first step, when we are going to provision anything on Azure, so we have to have the resource group provision first. So this is third block, resource block. Okay, this third block says you are actually going to provision any of the resource using this resource block, right? So the first parameter is the name of your module. So this is the module Azure RM underscore resource underscore group, and it is provided by the Azure RM, right? And the other one is the local name of your resource group. So this name can be any, you can pass any name. So but this has to be written as is, right? Okay, so after this, inside this, you very well remember any resource group or any particular service you are provisioning have to have some name and the location where it is going to be provisioned, where what would be the name of that service. So in my case, the resource group has that I have given a temporary name. I mean, the you know any imaginary name like store dash rg, and location I have given North Europe, right? After that, my next step is to provision the storage account. For that, I'm going to use this snippet. So the other resource, this is the first resource, resource group. Second resource is the storage account. So for a storage account, you have to write Azure RM underscore storage underscore account, and you can give any name. Again, once again, I'm having the two similar names here. Doesn't matter really, because it these would be known. These are the significant identifier for their resources. You can keep the different name as well, but there is no harm indeed. This would be only make a difference when you are going to provision the multiple sort of providers. Like for example, you are using Azure RM, then you are using another AWS as well. So that moment, there would be some clash. Otherwise, it's fine. So you are giving the name to your storage account. I have given like Matre storage account, and the resource group name. Besides of passing the hard coded value, I would follow the same name of the pre-provisioned resource group. So what I did is, you see, Azure RM underscore resource group, which is actually this resource name. Dot test means this name, and dot name is this property, right? So it will automatically fetch the name, this name, and assign to this particular property. Similar in the same case, location, it will take the location from here and pass it here, right? Account tier, because generally in storage account we need to pass which particular type of storage account you want to do create. So in my case, I'm taking a standard, and account replication type is, you remember, LRS, ZRS, GRS. So I have taken the GRS in this case, right? That is optional. You wanted to pass the tags or not. For this demonstration, I'm passing the tags. The tags itself is a kind of array, because multiple values can also be passed inside the tag. So I'm giving a name key value pair, which is a name of the tag is environment, and the value would be development. That's it. I mean, this configuration file is more than enough for this demonstration. Let me test this. Let me save it first. I just saved it, and after that I'll check whether this would work fine or not before sending to the Azure pipeline. And let me provision it here. Terraform. Okay, the very first command is init. Terraform init command, what will it do? You remember, the in case of Git, we also use the Git init. So what it does, it creates a Git name file in the background, and which has the complete mechanism of uh, the process of how the Git works, and how the branching would manage all that. Terraform init is in the similar way. It would basically study your configuration file and fetch the provider details, uh, understanding this one, and it will fetch the provider details and the complete mechanism inside the .terraform folder. So let me do this. So it is initializing the backend. What it is doing, it is finding the HashiCorp RM and finding out the exact version which I have actually passed, and based on that, it prepared the environment in the background. Also, you remember, notice Terraform has created a log file as well. The purpose of the log file is to record the provider selection it made above. Whatever the provider name we are going to follow and the version we are going to follow, it will make an entry inside the Terraform log.html file. And currently we are not going to focus on this particular file, although it would remain there. If you'll go and say dir, you will see the .terraform file is created, .terraform.log.html would be created, but our main focus would remain on main.tf. This may probably help when we will create the various versions of this template, but it is not the case as of now. Secondly, our main target is to provision the storage account not from the local system but from through the Azure DevOps pipeline. So if it is a it is a case of provisioning the resource from here. So that's pretty simple. You can write Terraform plan, the other command, which will study the complete configuration file and check what is to be created, what is to be destroyed, what is to be modified, anything, and make a detail of it. It means it is creating an architecture inside. See this. So once it is executed, it will study all that pattern because it's a declarative in nature. So you have, although you have not written much of the things, you are simply given an instruction to create a resource group and then a storage account. But for a storage account, what is the requirement? It has studied all these things internally and prepared a long list. These things would be plus means these things would be created internally in the Azure DevOps. Sorry, in Azure portal. Okay, so you need not to be worried about all these things because much of the things are not really immediately relevant to you. So but at the end it will say plan two to add, means two resources to be added. Number one is the resource group and second one is the storage account. Nothing to change, nothing to destroy. So that is the plan. It is not an execute actual implementation would be done by the other command. But even before that, we have to check first of all az login. Az login is a Azure CLI command which allow me to connect to my Azure portal. Although I am already connected with this, but let me do it once again. So I given my, so this is successfully connected and it asked me to close this. And once it is closed, you'll see some details here. Right. So it gives me my subscription detail, my tenant ID detail, my subscription name, and with the with what name it is basically aligned with. So these details would probably be required in uh, coming time, right? So now what we have to do is we have to go to the other portal, which is DevOps portal. So let me log in into DevOps portal quickly, dev.azure.com, and inside that I'll create a new project. I'm saying uh, Terraform storage, for example. Whatever description you wanted to give, I'm creating it a public project. Create. So it is creating a new project for me, right? Currently there is nothing, but what I wanted to do is there are two things, two ways to go there. Either I can just send this file through the Git. I mean, I can make a connection of remote connection with Git from here to there, and because this is a single file, I'll not take much pain at this moment. I'll just copy all this, copy paste, and I'll go and create. I can say that I can go to the repo and simply I would say initialize here, going there and choose new, and I'll say the main.tf was the file name. I'll keep it as is and simply paste my content here. Okay, and commit. added main.tf, let it be as is. Okay, so now besides of having a uh, local to get local to remote repository connections and all that, because it's not a great very big example with the multiple files, so let I just made it simple. Now I assume now I'm completely disconnected from the local environment. I'll remain on the Azure portal, DevOps portal. Here the other step is to create a pipeline now. So currently there is no pipeline defined. So for better understanding and the simplicity, I'll choose the classic editor. My repository would remain because this is the project name and this is the branch. Currently I have only main branch, so let me be continue with this. There are various number of options, but we have to find it out. Finding is a really big deal, so better to go to empty job and right. Okay, we have come here. Go to the agent. What agent you wanted to follow? See, currently inheriting from the pipeline, there are three options: inheriting, default, and the Azure pipeline. Better to go with the Azure pipeline itself. If you need to get more details about it, you can click on the pool information, or you may go and manage yourself the any specific self agent if you have created. So agent specification is I'll run this build on any of the agent like Windows machine. So that's it. No other detail need to be touched upon, and just simply save, and that's it. Okay, now because this is a single file tf file and we need to create the build, so for build configuration file has to be built first. So for that reason, what I can do is I can just click on the this button and it will ask for the new task to be added. So there would be two tasks required. Number one is the copy file, this one, just add it, and the other one is publish publish build artifact, this one, publish build artifact. Although we earlier we were using this one, copy and build artifact, but it is now deprecated, so not we will recommend not to use it. Go to this publish and build and just come here, click on copy to file. There are some attention required. What some attention is, uh, we have to pass the couple of information, like the required parameter is target folder. So target for where to publish the build. If you will not pass anything to this source folder, it will by default will take the uh, this thing, the main folder at the top folder. Okay, so copy to, you can say, what I can do is in the target folder, what you have to do is you have to go to the publish artifact first. There would be a publish folder by default variable given. Copy this thing and paste it in the target here. That's it. Okay, you also can restrict your because your source folder may have various number of files, but you can also restrict the content which need to be go for build. Currently we do not have enough things. Only one thing is there, which is a tf file and md file. So if you wanted to restrict like .tf file would only go for build, you can restrict it in that way, but doesn't matter. Okay, so let it be as is. You can leave it as is. Okay, now, so no other things to be touched. Let it be as is, and simply you can save it. Okay, if you wanted to cross check whether your build is working fine or not, you just go and click on save and queue. Otherwise, once you have saved, the queue button is there, you just can queue and just run this. It will start building. The agent would start building, working on its job, and you can check the logs here. What the steps are, basically it is taking internally. So what it is doing is it is actually acquiring the agent detail first. So agent is nothing but a kind of virtual machine is running in the background, which will be provisioned for that particular purpose, and immediately it would be destroyed once the artifact is ready. So yeah, started, and see, it will run couple of different tasks internally. and two tasks given by us, which is copy and the publish artifact. So copy is successful and publish artifact is also successful. My one artifact is ready. If you click on this, you'll see my drop folder has been created with these things, right? Although we should have added the get ignore file as well, because unnecessary it has come. But anyways, okay, build is successful, right? Now the other step is to go to the release, create the new pipeline, and in the new pipeline, I'm again going with the empty job. Currently go there and just save it, right? Close it. Now the other thing is to add the artifact. Artifact is nothing but which was basically developed, created by the build pipeline, and there was a drop folder. So add this drop folder from here to choose this. We have only one build pipeline, so selected that, added that, and it would be better if you wanted to use this trigger. What I'm doing is I'm enabling this trigger, so this will help me to, as soon as I'll make any change in the code, the build would start. Once the build is completed, immediately it will start running the release pipeline. For this purpose, I have enabled the trigger. So I'm going now to stages. There is single job and zero task. Let's make some amendment. Agent job, go to the agent job first. There is no change required. It is absolutely the similar as is it was given in the build pipeline. Now to the bottom, no change is required indeed for this demonstration. Just save it. Okay, click on once again on this and choose the Terraform, right? So the first task to be added is Terraform tool installer. Although it might be the, there might be the cases in your cases, if you have not installed this tool in advance, it won't be appeared at the first glance to you. So in that case, you have to go to the marketplace. um, Marketplace would be given somewhere here. If you click and come back, in the marketplace you will download this thing. In the marketplace you have to select the Terraform tool installer, and then you have to install it. In the first case it will come as an installer, but because I have already installed it, so I'll go to add it, the first thing. And after that, three instances of Terraform: 1, 2, 3. Why 3? I'll let you know one by one. So go to the very first task, which is install Terraform. So currently it is giving install Terraform 12.3, and if you remember, current version of the Terraform installer is 15.4. This, as soon as you will make the change here, it automatically the text would be changed here. So I'm going with the latest version, right? Next, the other command is the first command. There is a sequence of the commands. Remember the init first. So let me make the change here is init, Terraform init, and the command will remain in init here. And one thing which I actually have forgotten intentionally, because I have struggled a lot after this. So that this thing is the service principal. There are two things. Number one, even before starting writing the configuration file, going to the Azure DevOps, you must have created the service principal, because service principal would be required here to get the connection done with the Terraform and Azure DevOps and Azure. But if you have forgotten, we have a simplest way to do it here itself. So what we can do is we can simply go configuration init. So in init, we have to give the path of that drop folder, right? In the drop folder, okay. And any additional command is required? No, we don't require any additional command. Now you'll go to Azure subscriptions. You will find your subscription name here, but you will not find any service connection here, which we need to actually create. So what we can do is we can just go to manage. By default, it will take you to the service connection. Click on this, choose Azure Resource Manager. Next, service principal automatic is always recommended. Go to next, and it is loading your subscription details. Based on that, you can pass any custom name of your service connection name. and create a new service connection. And there would be very one important step after this we have to take. It would validate first. Let me give my credentials. Click on next. Okay, so once it is authenticated, it will take me back. It will populate the subscription here. Resource group is not really mandatory here, but you can give a service principal name, SRVPRN, service principal store. For example, I'm giving this name and nothing to give next. And what I can do is I just can save this. So it is setting up a new service connection for me with the name of SRVPRN store. And once it is done, the other very important step is to you have to provide the contributor access to your service principal. Otherwise, your build will always be cracked. Other it won't work. Okay. So what the other step is to, once it is created, just click on this and go to the manage service connection role. Click on this. It will take you back to Azure portal, and in the Azure portal you see it by default have landed you to access control IAM, and here in this case you will go to role assignment. In the role assignment there are earlier couple of projects service principals created, so let me create one more. Add role assignment. So I have to give a contributor role, right? And I have to select the name of that particular project. Let's see if it gives you SRV. No, by this name it is not coming. So what we can do is we can check the service principal. The project name is um, so we can find it out with the project name. Our project name was Terraform. No, it was started with my name, Abhi Dash. And what was my project name? I think it, yeah, it should be this thing, Terraform storage. Just cross check it. Yes, the project name is Terraform storage. So I am taking this name, right? Okay, so yes, it is added and save. Once you will save it, now this failed to add role assignment, failed to add this thing, contributor actions to the role assignment already exist. Okay, I think it has created already when at the time I was creating the service principal. So role assignment is default action for this. That's fantastic. So let me go back. Okay, and what we can do next is to refresh this Azure subscription. Earlier service principal was not populated. Once the refresh is done, yes, so the service principal name has come. You just can click on this, select this option, and the resource group name under this, which resource group, I mean you can pass any existing resource group name here, and the storage account. These are the mandatory things. I mean you must have these things already ready, but that's fine. I mean I have one ready, so I'm giving just that. Okay, the container has to be created internally, so this is there. And the key name you can just click on this and you'll get the idea what should be the key name, what could be the key name you can keep. I'm just copying this and keeping the same name, so that is not a very a big deal really. So once it is done, click on this, go to the next task. The other task is to plan, right? In it plan and apply. These are the three commands. Okay, so go to little bottom, go to the commands and select the plan command. And in the plan command, and this section has to be done once again. So where they will choose the drop folder. Okay, and after that subscription, the service principal you will choose once again. Okay, and the same way you will go to Terraform, um, the last one, which should be apply. Okay, the command would be validate and apply together, and the path has to be drop. Okay, and the additional command is, see, generally what happens at the time when you are applying, um, putting the apply command, that moment it asks for the verification confirmation, where you have to write a yes or no, something like that. If you wanted to escape that, we have to pass the auto approve, this additional command argument. So the whole command would become like terraform apply dash auto approve, right? And then in the subscription you have to choose once again the service principal, click on this and just save it. Okay, I think we are good to go. Everything is done, and we can just test this by creating the release. Create, check the release. Now the queue started, and it would give line by line logs to us how the process is happening inside. It is first connecting to the agent, means the VM, which is basically responsible for building and uh, implementation of this deployment, and the progress started. Connecting, the agent details has come. After that, it will take certain steps, further steps, where it will fetch the information from artifact. Now it's running. Yeah, taken the artifact details, installing Terraform 15.4 version on the virtual machine, on the agent machine. It is succeeded. Fantastic. The other step is init. It is studying my Terraform template, my configuration file. This is also succeeded. The plan, it is checking whether my template is good to go or not, what to be provisioned, what not to be. So apply, yeah, it's done, success, and finally it is going for apply. I mean, this is the step. If it is successful, it means the originally it will apply, it will provision the things. It's doing something. Fingers crossed, it must apply successfully if all the steps are correct. So once it is done, we will go to Azure portal and we'll see whether the things are provisioned there or not. There would be no question. If it is succeeded, definitely the things would be provisioned. So it is taking 47 seconds. Doing a lot of activities in background. Finally, it is successful. Everything is successfully worked. Bingo! In one go, we have done it. So let's see on the Azure portal. Just go to refresh this portal once, one a time. Go to the resource group. You see store RG has been created in North Europe under the store RG. And if you go store RG, I think it is something, it is taking bit time. So let me refresh it once again. Yes, my storage account has been successfully provisioned here, and that is the purpose of this whole demonstration. The same way we can create a lot of other things. We can build the complete infrastructure here. It was the simplest example I have given to you. So if you have any query, you may write your queries in the comment section. And if you like this video, please pass the comments and subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. You will get various number of different videos on different subjects timely. Thank you very much for watching this. Bye.